Suno 5.5 dropped 3 new features, and if you don't understand what each one actually does under the hood, you're going to waste credits and get frustrated wondering why your results changed. So let's take these one at a time. My taste, custom models, and voices. What each one actually does, how to use it, and what to watch out for. The first feature is called My Taste, and this one is important to understand because it's working in the background whether you've noticed it or not. Suno watches your behavior over time, what you generate, what you like, what you skip. It builds a profile of your aesthetic preferences. The visible face to this is the blue magic wand in the style field. When you use it, Suno auto-expands your prompt into a longer, more detailed style description based on your taste history. Here's what you need to understand. If you generate across multiple genres, and most of you do, that history gets blended together. So when My Taste is active, it may be quietly injecting preferences from your history into generations you intended to be clean and specific. Our testing found examples of acoustic guitar appearing in dark electronic tracks, country elements bleeding into genres that they had no business being. Not because of the prompt, because of the history. For casual use, My Taste is a helpful assistant. For intentional, controlled music making, turn it off. If you take nothing else from this video, know where that setting is and know how to turn it off. The second feature is custom models. And this is the one I want to spend the most time on because it's the easiest one to misunderstand. You upload a minimum of 6 of your tracks. Suno trains a version of its engine on your catalog. The idea is that it learns your production style, your instrumentation choices, your rhythmic feel, your sound. Pro and Premier subscribers only. Up to 3 custom models. Training takes 2 to 5 minutes. When you feed it high quality, consistent tracks, it does pick up textural patterns. The general vibe of your sound comes through. But here are the 2 things you need to know going in. First, once your custom model is active, the AI becomes less responsive to your structural prompts. The tempo directions, the section tags, the dynamic instructions in the lyric field, the model starts to discount them because it believes it already knows your style. You gain stylistic consistency, you lose some of the fine-grained controls. That's the trade-off, and it's real. Second, custom models have a strong pull towards commercial, polished output. Our testing found that models trained on experimental or genre-bending music would still generate results that sounded safer and more radio-friendly than the original training materials. Think of it this way. You hired an apprentice, gave them all of your recordings to study. They come back playing it safe because that's what the underlying system gravitates towards. Custom models are most powerful when your catalog is already consistent and mainstream adjacent. If you're doing experimental or niche work, test carefully before committing credits. The third feature is voices, the headline of 5.5. The concept is straightforward. You record or upload your own voice. Suno uses it when generating vocals for your tracks. You provide a vocal sample, recorded live, uploaded as a file, or pulled from a track already in your library. Suno extracts the vocal identity and applies it to future generations. There's a required verification step where you read a randomly generated phrase out loud. Suno is confirming you're the owner of the voice being used. For musicians, that's actually an important protection worth understanding. Now, here's where people run into trouble on setup. The system needs 3 to 5 minutes of clean, dry audio. No background music, no reverb, no compression. And critically, it needs your full vocal range. If you only record yourself comfortably in middle register, the model won't know what to do when the track needs high chorus or a dramatic low note. It will fall apart and revert to generic. Range matters. Don't shortcut the sample. The other thing to know, and this one catches people off guard, is what happens when you try to use your clone voice on a remix of an existing track. Instead of replacing the original vocal, the AI tends to merge your voice with the synthetic vocal already on the track. The result is a hybrid that sounds like neither. You get something in between that isn't you and it isn't the original. The fix is counterintuitive. Don't max out the audio influence slider. Pull it back to somewhere between 25 and 50. That gives your voice room to come through cleanly rather than fighting with what's already there. So let's bring it together. My taste is Suno learning your preferences over time, useful for casual use, something to actively manage if you're doing intentional work. Custom models let you train the engine on your own catalog, powerful, but trades fine-grained control for stylistic consistency and pulls towards commercial polish. Plan for that. Voices puts your vocal identity into the music. Genuinely impressive technology that requires proper setup and patience to dial in correctly. These three features together represent a real shift in what Suno is becoming. Less of a random generator, more of a personalized production system. Understanding how each one works puts you in control of that system, not the other way around. If you want the full 30 pages of testing data, every finding, every setting, every workflow, the Suno 5.5 beta guide is $4.99 at jgbeatslab.com. And if you want everything we've published here and going forward, Red Lab Access, jgbeatslab.com/redlabaccess. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next.